Welcome to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. Connie Willis here, Blue Rockers. Tonight we have Sean Worthington with us. He is the founder of CloudCoin, and he's going to be talking about, if you haven't heard about it yet, I've actually talked about it here before on Blue Rock Talk, but if you haven't heard about it yet, it's not on the blockchain. It's in the cloud. So we're going to learn what that's all about. For those of you new here to Blue Rock Talk, thank you for joining me and thank you for sticking around for all the audio problems. We're going to just stick with this and follow the show that way, and I'm hoping to get your questions in as well, so thank you for being patient. I appreciate that. Those of you that are new, please subscribe. I hope that you will, and we will get things worked out in the future. Also, those of you that want to comment and do all that kind of stuff, I'm really going to be watching over here to make sure you get your questions answered. I will be on Coast to Coast on the 27th, so I hope you'll join me. And if you want to learn how to buy cloud coins, you can look in the description box below. There's all sorts of neat links down there, so you can find the educational package as well as his book and all the other neat little things that Sean has put together. So Sean, let's go ahead and give this a shot now. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk once again. This is the cryptoconnie series. How are you doing?
Excellent. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's great. I know this is your very first live show with Q&A. So
that's right.
Let's see how this goes tonight, huh?
Yes.
Well, first tell everybody what CloudCoin is all about.
Well, I'm a computer science instructor, and I was working on my PhD dissertation, and I realized that monetary systems are in fact information systems. I'm getting a PhD in computer information systems, and I realized that basically money plays the role of data. And I took all the rules that we have in our database class and I applied that to monetary systems, and I came up with CloudCoin, and it is designed to be the perfect digital currency. Using the rules that we have in computer science and computer information systems, I was able to figure out what a perfect system should be, and I think that we've done pretty close with that.
I was just trying to see if I can get you in a one shot, so I don't know what you said there.
Okay.
Trying to make you look good, that's all.
I was just saying that I've created what I think to be the perfect currency. And you know how in economics, there's some models for what is the perfect market. And there's some rules for that, but there is no models for what is perfect money. There's no models for how much should be in circulation, who should be the one that prints it up, how it should be created. And so I really came up with a new model based on just what we already have about what is perfect data. That has to do with integrity of data. There's something called logical integrity. There's something called physical integrity. I noticed that some of the most important characteristics of money is that it cannot be counterfeited. And of course, there's got to be a system that is available, and we don't want to have a system that can be destroyed and it just disappears and doesn't work anymore.
Well, I think it's really cool because one of the things too about the money is, something that cannot be counterfeited, as you said. And I like the way that you have done that. You've kind of worked the way the NASA people do. I know a lot of conspiracy theorists out there will love what you have done with your coin, because at NASA, when they have a top secret program or any other top secret program, what they do is, let's say 10 people are going to work on it. Those 10 people do not work together, right? They all have a little piece of the puzzle. And that's kind of what you've done with your currency as well, correct?
That's right. So there's no one central place that is in charge of knowing whether the CloudCoin is authentic or not. Instead, we have a fuzzy logic, and we have 25 different clouds all around the world to call on. And it might be that you might call on 10 of them and you're fine with them telling you that it's authentic, or maybe you want all 25. So it's definitely some fuzzy logic involved.
Well, how do people get the CloudCoin, and then how do they spend it? Can they spend it yet? Do you have to have a Mac? Do you have to have a PC? How does that work?
So getting it is fairly easy. If you just Google buy CloudCoin, you can probably find some website that's selling it. What CloudCoin is it's spent into existence, and so we don't have an ICO where we just sell all this CloudCoins to investors. What we do is we pay system administrators and we pay programmers to create software and create the system to make it work. And it's basically spent into existence. So a lot of the websites that you go to, those are actually the programmers who have made the CloudCoin, and they're the first ones to get it, and they're the first, and they have to, if they want to pay their bills with their native currency, they have to go ahead and sell it online. You can buy it with PayPal or credit card or just, all these different currencies all around the world.
So right now you can buy it with anything. Your credit card, anything you want, you can buy it.
Yeah, so for example...
Right now, like today.
Yeah, and so, for example, you've got a link there. I think I gave you a link.
Yep, down below in the description box.
Somebody can just click on that, and probably within, less than 60 seconds or a minute, they would be able to have they would have a link to the CloudCoins that they just bought. They can click on it, and it would just download them. So you don't have to create an account, you don't have to log in, you don't have to download the blockchain, which is 150 gigabytes. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to go into any exchanges even. So it's very easy.
I got to tell you, with the cryptocurrency, the exchanges are awful. Figuring out the wallets, some are easy, some are not. And that's where people like me, we have a hard time. And there's a lot of people like me. There's more me's than there are you guys.
Yes.
You guys are 1%, correct? So the rest of us that are trying to learn this and get in there and really, attack it as well, it's not that easy. And well, that's with the blockchain, though. That's all the different currencies that are crypto. You're not even that at all. You don't have the blockchain. You don't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff, and that's where you stand alone for sure. Now, so I can't trade anything with you. I basically just buy you, and is it going to be going up? Is it in a marketplace where we can watch it go up, or is it meant to spend, or what?
So CloudCoin was designed to be a currency that's spent. It wasn't designed to be some kind of investment. We've got a whole bunch of people that have gone really crazy about investing, but we had no concept or idea of investing when we started CloudCoin, and instead we're trying to fit this perfect model. So the infrastructure that we're creating is still coming into being. So we're still creating all of the software that allows us to exchange, and we're setting up the software that allows it to be used at websites. But we do see activity in our databases. We can see that there's lots of trading going on. So we think that it's being used as a currency all around the world.
So let's say I go in and I buy like $250 worth of CloudCoin.
Mm-hmm.
Can I spend it anywhere now?
Yeah, for example, we have a director of communications. He's paid in CloudCoins. All of our people are paid in CloudCoins. And he went to get his photo taken, and he asked the photographer if he could pay him in CloudCoins, and the photographer said sure.
Oh, okay, okay. So people that are into it, okay. But like right now, I can't go get a pizza or donuts or anything yet.
So we just had our first product that is for sale for CloudCoins, and it is in Serbia. So Serbia, they're really crazy about CloudCoins, and they use them a lot there. And so our first website that actually takes CloudCoins for payments is in Serbia.
Okay. So what are you thinking in the future? How do you make that happen, where we can spend these?
So we're working on that very hard, and we're making something called SDKs that allow our software or our CloudCoins to be imported into any kind of software. And today, actually, I just got back from looking at a demonstration of our virtual reality bank. And this is, you put on these virtual goggles, you go to the website, all of a sudden you're in this bank, you look around, and it's like being in a bank. And this is working with the Rise Bank project that we're working on. And you can go up to the ATM and you can put CloudCoins in there, you can take CloudCoins out, and you can also go to another person and you can give them your CloudCoins in exchange. So we've got it, so it's working in software. And we're doing demonstrations where one of the programmers is doing little fidget spinners. And
this
is different. Yeah, because these fidget spinners are virtual and every single one is different. They're all unique, and they've actually got a CloudCoin embedded in them. and you can trade them, and you can, I don't know exactly what the programmer is doing, but it shows how cloud coins can be used within software. So we expect in the next month or two that we're really going to see some headline news with us doing things that have never been done before.
Speaking of news, you've been all over the place.
Yeah, I've been asked to talk to a lot of radio stations. I just started doing television for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, what's that like? How do you like that?
Well, it certainly was not quite what I expected. It was very fast, and I had to speak very fast and didn't really get to talk in depth, but it was enjoyable, and I think I did it okay.
I saw you. You did a good job. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I saw you. You did really good. It was fast, and they had you in a weird position. I don't know why they had you where they had you. No offense to that show whatsoever. I was like, what? What's he? He's standing up, right? But it looked really good, and you did a really good job with it, so we really appreciate that. Now, you got some news coming up as well, right? I don't even know what it is. You've got some news that you can tell us. It's going to start tomorrow, I guess?
Yeah, so this is, I hate to even say it because it hasn't, I haven't actually seen it myself, but I've had people confirm that this is true. And what I've been told is that Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington has done a video, and he's considered by Inc. magazine to be one of the 5 top celebrities that are into cryptocurrencies. The other include the Virgin Galactic guy, Mark Cuban. There's some others. I'm not very big on celebrities, unfortunately. But so he's one of the big guys in cryptocurrency, and apparently he did a video about me and about the RAIDA technology and about cloud coins. And so we are going to be able to see that tomorrow and see exactly what he's going to say about it. And I hear it's very positive.
Well, where can we see that? Where can we see this?
Well, I assume that digitalfrontiernews.com, which is a news site for this type of thing, is covering that story, and they're going to release it, and I'll be able to look at it there.
Okay.
And then, of course,
okay, that's right. That's where I saw it originally. That's right. Okay,
yes.
So digital. Okay.
Yeah,
and there are
that's
links
where I
down
read
there.
that too. Yes.
Okay. There are links down there below too. So I know Kevin. I've actually worked with Kevin before. I guess a lot of people know him from Shark Tank. I guess everybody knows him from Shark Tank because that's where everybody saw him. He's Mr. He's an infomercial guy.
Yes.
And I did infomercials for years and years and years, and so he's one of the kings out there, obviously, with infomercials, and that's how he got on the Shark Tank. So Kevin is a very nice guy, very quiet otherwise, and somebody you always want to go have lunch or dinner with kind of guy. I never have had lunch or dinner. I guess we've been at different conventions together, and hey, how you doing? What's going on? Kind of thing, and done some shows together. But so make sure you tell Kevin I said hey, and
very good.
say cryptoconnie first, and he'll go who, and then say Connie Willis, and he'll go what?
All right, I'll tell him.
Yeah, make sure you tell him I said hello.
If I ever get to talk to him.
Yeah, well, I hope so. If he's talking about you, I hope you get to talk to him. So everybody, forgive me for my voice. I've been very sick, and that's where I've been for a while. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of your possible questions that you have for Sean, and let's see if we can't get them answered. Let's see. Okay, Patrick Konchak. I'm just going to go from the bottom up because I don't know where your questions are starting. But Patrick says it's nice to not have to deal with passwords, but I'm worried with the Intel bug problem that if someone hacked my computer, they can easily get my cloud coins. How safe is my wallet, my cloud wallet?
So there's no cloud wallet. Basically, we have a program that helps you manage the storage of your coins, because sometimes you can take a cloud coin, you can copy it and paste it on your own computer a lot, and you might have 5 of the same coin. They're all good until you spend one of them, and the rest become counterfeit. So we have some software that allows you to manage that. But basically, you just have a folder. It's called Bank, and all the cloud coins that are in that bank are yours and good and pwned, which means that you've taken ownership of them, via password. But as far as I know, that problem that Intel has does not affect CloudCoins at all. We don't do any kind of encryption of, we're not using passwords. We're sending some data out.
So if somebody's computer, though, is stolen, it's not gone?
So if somebody steals your computer, hopefully you've got your CloudCoins encrypted, because if you don't, and they can open up those CloudCoins, then they can steal them.
Okay, so when you say encrypted, what do we need to do?
Well, something like Microsoft Windows, like Windows 10, you can just right-click your bank folder and go to the advanced security features and encrypt it. And then nobody will be able to get those files unless they are able to log in as you. And if they log in as you, then they can get those. But if they don't have your password, those will be encrypted and they'll be safe.
Okay, that's what Patrick's concern was, if somebody hacked his computer and he wondered how easily they could get it. So you're saying...
So in order to secure CloudCoins, they need to be encrypted.
And again, encrypted is another security system on your Windows. What about Mac?
So I'm not a very good person when it comes to Mac.
What's wrong with you? Wait a minute. Smack.
Yes. Well, it comes, I used to be this Microsoft guy, and I made all my money in Microsoft, and I was a Microsoft nut, and he called me Mr. Microsoft, and I was an expert at Microsoft. And it's like strong everywhere, weak everywhere. If I spent time on Mac, then that would take away from my Microsoft.
Well, nowadays you got to be both, right? Now you got to be both with the CloudCoin, because you're going to be Mr. CloudCoin, or you are Mr. CloudCoin. Okay, so tell me again, if let's say I have Windows, which I'm clueless about, but let's say I had Windows, I get my CloudCoins, then you're telling me I've got to double click on it to tell me what the procedure is at that point to encrypt it?
So you would right-click the folder that's got all your CloudCoins in it, which is called Bank, and then you would go to Advanced on the bottom of that menu, and within there would be security features, and you've got this little box that you can check that says Encrypt. And so you just click that box and hit OK, and it'll encrypt everything that's in that folder.
Okay, all right. Patrick, I hope that helped you out there. Let's see here. Oh, think about it, guys, that clown guy. Anyway.
Okay.
We'll avoid that one at all. Grow up. Grow up. Jeez. Sean, worked with Dylan in Chico office. Very professional and helpful. This is Reverend Davey.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so you know who he's talked about.
Yes, we have a support department, and they are paid with CloudCoins, and they answer phone calls and try to help people if they have any problems with any software or have any questions about CloudCoins in general.
Excellent. Excellent. That's great. I'm going to just see if I can do something here. No, I better not. I'm scared. I better stick on the two-shot.
Yes.
Darn it, I want to try some. I'm so used to doing everything else like that way. Okay. The cloud, much better than the blockchain. This is Reverend Davey talking, who's a Blue Rocker, and also a remote viewer, and works with Lori Williams and takes classes with Lori Williams and knows Lori Williams just like I do, who is the professional remote viewer and also does Blue Rocker bafflers that we have on here, which is remote viewing and esoteric target. But he says, and this is my big thing too. I mean, with the blockchain having a lot of problems, the cloud's not going to have to worry about that.
That's right. And so the blockchain is not quantum safe. We're now having quantum computers. It's possible for that blockchain to be hacked. So that's one issue. It's not really the main issue. That is probably going to be an issue in 10 years. But the RAIDA does not have to worry about that problem. It is quantum safe. And another thing is that the amount of energy involved is, absolutely different. So with the Bitcoin, you have to have mining going on in order to fund the administration of the servers. That is absolutely expensive. It's very costly. And our servers, on the other hand, are very light. They have very small databases, very small needs as far as bandwidth go, very little processing power, and we can even put them on these Raspberry Pi computers. So they're extremely efficient, and it's and that's something that we have to do as human beings. We have to economize, and so the cloud is much more economical than the blockchain.
And it is something easy for everyone if it's a JPEG. I mean, it comes in as a JPEG, right?
So there's different file formats, and that's one of them, JPEGs, and that's meant mainly for marketing, and it's easy for people to see them and know what they are and move them around and receive them and understand that they're money. But we also have a stack file, and that is where we put lots of different cloud coins in one file, I guess you could say.
Oh, file.
Yeah.
Trademark it right now.
Yes. Where the JPEGs, they only have one note per JPEG file, but with the stacks we can put lots of them in there. Those are more convenient. They're not as big, but they're just not as visually stunning as the JPEGs.
What do you, with the CloudCoin, what does it come in? It's not just 1, 2s, 5, 6, or whatever. What do you?
So there's different denominations.
That's the word, thank you.
Denomination. Yeah. And so we have 1s, 5s, 25s, 100s, and 250s. And so that might seem strange to people, but by having denominations, it makes it much more efficient. So we have the denominations in cloud coins for the same reason that other currencies have denominations, and that you just have to take care of less money. It's easier to carry these big bills.
Okay, all right, because you're going to constantly be compared to the blockchain and cryptocurrencies because it's so different. Mm-hmm. Where you really can just be compared to the actual US dollar instead. It's actually closer, isn't it?
Yeah, like when we go to exchanges and are trying to get into these exchanges, we just tell them treat it like it's a fiat currency, because you don't need to have any kind of wallet or blockchain or this other stuff that goes along with that. You just bring it in by email, you scan it to make sure that it is authentic, and then you go to your computer and mark in so-and-so has that amount of money, just like you do with the dollars.
Okay, so I can, I guess in the future or now, I guess I can just trade with anybody right now, or I can say, hey, you know what, I owe you, Sean, I owe you $10, and I can send you $25, or I can say you owe me $250, and you can send it over to me, and then I can put it right into my cloud bank. So we can just do that. The thing is, I mean, we can do that now with each other, but the thing is, right now, I cannot cash that in yet. Can I? Can I put that in my bank yet?
So when you say bank, you're talking about your physical bank?
Yeah, right? My Bank of America.
Well, we actually have this system that we're working on, and it's a peer-to-peer exchange. And it requires that you have a service running on your computer and a port open, or that you have some kind of host. It's called Cloud Bank, and you host it on some server somewhere. Or we're all going to make a hardware version where you can just buy a little server for $300 and set it up in your house. But basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to sell your cloud coins, which is the equivalent of exchanging them. So, and that money will be put into your choice, either your checking account through ACH, or your PayPal account if you have PayPal, or your directly into your bank using something called Stripe, which is a payment service. We have some other payment options as well. So it should make it so that people can quickly exchange their dollars for cloud coins and vice versa. And what's great about it is it's all peer-to-peer, and so there's no way the government can come and take down the exchange. They can't arrest anybody and haul them off to jail because nobody's holding the money.
So, but that's something we'll have to buy in the future ourselves. If we
the software is going to be, or the software is open source, and it is MIT licensed, which means that you can take it, and not only can you use it in your own computer, but you can also add to it and change it and sell it yourself for your own projects or whatever. We're going to try to make it as convenient for people as we can. In order to install it, you need a Windows computer. Windows computers have IIS, which is an Internet Information Service, built into it which will turn your computer into a web server so that it can accept, basically it can have a little web page that people can go to and buy your cloud coins. And it also allows you to write digital checks and cash digital checks and all this stuff and do bill pay with cloud coins, a lot of different stuff with it. But some people might not have the tech savvy to be able to configure that. And so we do want to have a service where they just buy it and it's on some server somewhere in the cloud, and they pay maybe $5 a month or something for this, and it allows them to do all this transactions and everything that they need to do with that. And another option is if they want it, if they don't want to put their cloud coins up there in the cloud where they're vulnerable potentially, what they can do is buy one of these physical servers that they bring into their house and plug in. You'd have to open a port on their router for port 443, that's the SSL port. But then they could advertise their server with our exchange that we're creating, and people can just go there and buy their cloud coins and vice versa.
You're getting deep on me now. You're getting really deep on me with all that. That's a lot. Okay, somebody wanted to know. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the questions here backwards. Counting how many. Think about it. Somebody yell at that guy. What? Let's see. He's being a real jerk. Do you know who this guy is?
Yes, I do. I could say his name on...
Say his name. Let's go ahead and say who he is, because he's really being a jerk.
Okay.
What's his name?
Well, it's kind of hard to...
And I'm gonna. You find his name. We'll say his name so we can say it out loud, and then we're gonna get to everybody else, just because this guy's being a big jerk. What is the split, Reverend Davey again here, what is the split that you talked about last time?
So with cloud coins, we want it to be a unit of account, and we want it to be worth about a Pepsi, so that, one cloud coin equals one Pepsi. And in order to do that, we don't want to have the price skyrocket like it is with Bitcoin, where it goes up to $17,000 per cloud coin. And the reason is because when the price of cloud coin goes up, what happens is that the value of trying to hack it also goes up. And so what we want to do is we want to take all of our infrastructure, we want to be able to clone that. And when we clone that, we basically double everyone's coins, or we could actually clone it 10 times, and we could multiply everybody's cloud coins by 10, so it's proportional. Everybody would get the same amount of cloud coins more. And it also, in the process, we are increasing our infrastructure. So instead of having 25 servers or 25 clouds, then we'd have 250 clouds. And then we might go up to 2,500 clouds. And this makes it so that if a hacker is trying to hack, it's not going to be worth it, because all they're going to steal is basically $2, and it's going to cost them a lot more effort. So by actually keeping the value of the cloud coins down, it makes it more usable, number one. It makes it so that it's less of a target for hackers, and it also strengthens the whole system by creating all of these thousands of clouds all around that make it impervious and invulnerable.
I'm going to just throw out some questions at you. Jai George, welcome Jai. Why is there a shortage in $1 denomination?
So there's no shortage of $1 denominations that I know of. Right now we are releasing all of the cloud coins, and they are released in tranches. And so all of the cloud coins are in 60 different tranches. We release one tranche a month, and we're doing that for 5 years. We've already done it for 13 months now. So now there's 47 tranches still out there. And we're going from the big bills to the little bills. And the reason is because the little, we figure that in 5 years they're going to be worth a lot more. And so right now, when you go to buy something, you're going to pay a lot for it, and you're going to want the bigger bills to do that. But we do give away the smaller ones, and we are setting up something called a change server. On the change server, it works with your software. So you go to buy something and it costs less than 250 cloud coins. Your software will automatically go to the change server, get change for you within 2 seconds, and then you can buy the thing that you want with the change without having to worry about it or fiddling with it. So it's all digital and easy to use. But it's just a matter of the one cloud coin notes, they just aren't worth anything right now.
You got a lot. Do you feel like you have a lot of work ahead of you, or do you feel like it's going to come pretty easy, all this?
It's going to be a lot of work, and we've got, about, I'm just going to guess and say about 65 people that are working pretty much full time on this project, and they're working very hard, and I think that a lot of their efforts are going to come to fruition in the next couple of months as we see some of all these projects.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Patrick Konchak, do you have mobile wallet app that uses QR codes?
So we do have mobile wallet, or we have the mobile apps, but we don't have anything that uses QR codes. That's one of the features that we're going to add to the next, what we call the CloudCoin core, and it's going to be we were developing the QR file format that will allow you to actually export your coins and print them out. And so instead of having cloud coins on your computer, you can actually put them on paper and stick them in your wallet, or stick them in a book and hide them, or bury them underground. They're going to be offline. But it will also allow you to show that cloud coin to show that QR code to another phone, and they'll be able to import it instantly, and they'll be able to take ownership of that and change all the passwords so that QR code that you have is now then spent. And so that is one of the features that we're working on right now, and it's in our list of things to do in the next version.
Amazing what you can learn just listening to you guys talking and the different questions that come in. I really appreciate that. Steve Pickey asked, what double spin protocols are in place, and do you have a cryptography background? What kind of cryptography background do you have, I guess, is what he's asking.
So my background is in system administration, and I have about 30 certifications. I've got something called CCNA, which is the Cisco Certified Network Associate, but I'm also a Cisco Certified Academy Instructor. I'm a Microsoft Certified Trainer, Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, and I'm a Microsoft Certified Database Administrator. And then I've got all this education that has to do with PhDs and things like that. I'm into computer science and cryptography. I'm into computer information systems and cloud computing. And so we don't require cryptography to make CloudCoin work, because we can get security by the equivalent of shredding. And so if you want to hide something, you can encrypt it, but you can also shred it. And so imagine that you take a document and you shred it into 25 different pieces, and you're able to put those 25 different pieces in different parts of the world. And they're actually in different, controlled by different people on different hardware with different operating systems and different jurisdictions and different climates, different time zones. And what we get is a situation in which we have no systematic risk. And that if there's a big storm and it takes out a server, that's only one server. If we've got a government that goes bad, they can take out, one of these. If we have some kind of hacker, they're not going to be able to hack them all. First you got to find them. And so we get our strength not through encryption, but by using highly available systems, and it does not require encryption. And that's why we're quantum safe, by the way.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So Pete X asked, can you store cloud coins offline?
Absolutely. And so cloud coins are just data. And you can store, in fact, money is just data. And so we have used silver coins and gold coins to write the data on it. So the money is not actually the coin. The money is what's written on it. And we write on gold and silver because it's got physical integrity. Number one, you can't counterfeit it unless you spend a lot of time doing work going out and mining silver and gold, which is very expensive and time consuming. And also it's hard to lose. It's not going to burn in a fire or anything. And we also can write things on paper. And so paper money is offline, of course, but we can store it in our minds. And, it's very easy for us to store it on a USB drive and just unplug the USB drive.
How do
We
we
can,
store it in our minds? Just, I mean, I can think about it and know what I have, but how do I store it in my mind?
so we have 25 authenticity numbers. And these things
Mm,
they're called GUIDs, which are global unique identifiers. They're so random that if you were to try to guess them, it would take you more time than in the universe. It's just impossible. And even with quantum computers. And that's just to guess one. And we've got 25. And so all you've got to do is remember all of these. If you can remember all of them,
Jeez,
you can store in
okay.
mind. Now, unfortunately, that's too hard to do. And
Yes.
so what we do is we have this algorithm that helps people store them in their mind. And what we do is we ask them for their username. We ask them for their password. We ask them for their email. We ask them for their PIN number. We ask them for their date of birth and their social security number. And then we take all those numbers together and we put them together, and we can then store it in, we can, all that information you can store in your mind. And then when it comes time to get it out of your mind, you can get it out of your mind. So that's how we do it right now. We are also working on biometric system in which we use iris recognition, and we mix that with just a simple password. And so we're trying to make money that cannot be stolen. And the idea is that you're going to use your iris as part of your password. And so instead of having to store it in your mind, you're actually storing it in your eye. You're storing it in your eyeball. And part of it then will be in your mind. So you'll just have a password and your iris code, and then hopefully that would be an unhackable currency, and it would be impossible for anyone to steal it or get it
Wow.
out of you.
Wow. Okay. Hold on here. I'm having to go through all the different. If you guys have a question, to make sure you maybe put the question in bold print so I can find your questions a little quicker. Um, but yeah, a lot of people are sold very quickly on this. I noticed that. Who likes you the most? Have you found out? Regular people going, "Oh, this is easier," or tech people going, "Hey, I get it. It's even better."
Well, I'll
Who's
tell
your
you who likes
audience to
us.
be?
So I'll tell you who likes us the worst, and that is the investors. And the investors want to see a very nice looking website. They want to see everybody being marketers. They want to see a CEO. They want to see everything done professionally. And that is not who we are. We are computer scientists. We are programmers. I really don't know anything about business. I made the websites, a lot of the websites by my own hand, and they're very good at optimization. People criticize that they don't like the colors, they don't look professional, or they're not slick enough. And so it's the investors who don't like us because I don't know, I think they like to be fooled or something. It's like a lot of these investors want to dream about getting rich and don't really look at the real thing. The people,
No, it's
the,
kind of like when you go out into, you're out in the real world and you can see somebody and they've got it looks all great on paper. They can just be all in the right clothes, the right haircut, the right everything, the right skin color, tan, whatever it is. And they got the right car and they got the right house. But you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to be around that person, right? You're
Mhm.
talking about the core minerals of, hey, we've got it to where it can work and it does what it's supposed to do and it's going to be really cool. So maybe you just need a decorator. Sometimes you got to do that, right?
That's right. And so we have we hired a guy to do a spell checking, and
Excellent.
unfortunately, he got sick immediately. And so my wife said today, you should hire a web designer, and she's probably right. We should get somebody that does websites because we don't have a web designer. That's marketing. That's part of marketing. We're
Right,
in computer science,
right.
and but who I like and who I think likes us are people that are system administrators. Because when I tell them what we're doing and I show them our patent pending, they get it and they understand it and they say, this is going to work. And that's why we have no problem hiring system administrators and getting them to come aboard and help us out. We have a harder time with programmers, and we have a much harder time with marketing people and arts and farts people. Uh, and another thing is that philosophically we are libertarians, and we just do not suffer communism or socialism, and we just hate that kind of stuff. And the arts and farts people tend to be that way, and so we don't have a lot of good libertarian artists that we have been able to draw on, because we just, we've literally hired some artists for a couple days or a couple minutes, and then they said something about, you should get rid of John Locke, or you should get rid of Thomas Jefferson, or something like that. The people that we think are exceptionally important, that we've put them on the money, the CloudCoins. And
well, that's the first way to lose your job, telling the
yes,
boss what should be done, right?
that's right.
It's common sense.
Like in Twitter, I follow all of these different philosophers, and other people that are very conservative, very libertarian. And some of our folks have criticized that we should not, show any kind of political bent. And they might be right. Maybe that's how we make money and be rich really quick. But the way that I feel is that we're going to be successful. It's just a matter of time. I mean, we've just got the right stuff.
It still blows me away. I'm still learning the blockchain and everything that goes on with that, and it just still blows me away. So, excuse me, everybody. You guys are watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. It's Crypto Connie here. I've been away for a while because I'm sicker than a dog, and you can tell with my voice it's still really not there yet, but I'm trying my hardest here. Down below in the links in the description box, you're going to see links to where you can get CloudCoins and the educational kit, which is really cool. Also, I'm going to be on Coast to Coast on the 27th, so please remember that as well. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Stan Larimer on live with Q&A. Hopefully, I'll fix the sound problem by then, I'm hoping. Oh, my gosh. But I appreciate your all's comments, and that you guys will subscribe and also like while you are here. Who we're talking to tonight is Sean Worthington. He is the founder of CloudCoin and RAIDA. And patent pending, I guess, right now. This is really incredible. How do you feel about your patent? You feel like it's pretty strong to where you're going to get it granted?
So I've been told by our patent attorneys that we have a fair chance of having it granted, and that's basically 50-50. And so really, it doesn't matter whether we get it or not, because our technology works. We've had the RAIDA up, and it's never gone down since October, since we put it up experimentally. And it solves all the problems. So I'm absolutely certain that whether we have a patent or not, we're going to be successful. And this is going to be the next type of currency.
Yeah, do you believe like this will be it? It will take over blockchain, it will take over the crypto and digital currency?
I do. I think that it's such a big step forward. And the reason why it's such a big step forward is because we have been able to actually figure out what is ideal and know what to shoot for. Mining is not ideal. It's not ideal to go out and create new bitcoins by spending a lot of electricity. That is not ideal. It's not ideal to track every transaction that ever happens. And
you know that I do a lot with Stan with bitshares as well. They don't have the mining, so right. That's good, right?
Yes. And Bitcoin has become a bubble, and it is popping, and that price is going to take a dive. And what's going to happen is that if your currency is not efficient, it's not going to be around. It's got to be able to pay for itself, and Bitcoin is going to be too expensive. If that value drops below 3,000, you can see everybody just turn off all those servers. And
let me ask you about this, because that's a good point that you bring up. Okay, one of the things, and it all starts coming together along the way, right? So one of the things with bitshares and Stan Larimer is he is bringing businesses onto the blockchain, and he is having them, if I got this right, they have to buy so many coins as well. So it keeps it going, it keeps it moving. So that's what you had said. If you don't have a reason for the coin or what you're doing on the blockchain, forget it, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah, you certainly want to diversify. If your currency is all about just investing, well, that's not going to last forever.
Right.
And so you've got to have some kind of other thing there. which is going to be useful. Otherwise, it's going to be gone. I would imagine that 80% of the currencies that we have today will be gone by this time next year.
So how do you feel about, what are your comments on what is going on today? Like everything's down. All the ones that I look at, all of them are down. Everything.
So that think about it guy is an investor, and he's an idiot. And he got into cryptocurrencies because he got suckered into. He saw all those people making money. He was going to make some money too. He probably did make money. Might even be a millionaire. And he thinks he's really important, very good. But the reason why Bitcoin has gone up and all these cryptocurrencies have gone up is because of the Federal Reserve and other fiat currencies. Because I can go out and I can put a mortgage on my house and I can get a bunch of money and I can invest it in Bitcoin, and I can take my credit cards and I can buy a bunch of Bitcoin, and that has caused the price to skyrocket in a hyperbolic manner. It is a typical bubble. It fell down and we went into the bull trap. We've been into the bull trap at least 2 weeks, and people think, oh, well, look, it's so low, it's going to go up. And then all of a sudden, bam, it just falls. And it just fell today. It lost 24% in the past 24 hours. And Ethereum lost 30%. And I think that other currencies have lost 40%. And so what's happening is all of these investors, they're going to get thrown out of the market because they won't have any money in order to invest.
So, and you're saying because Bitcoin's going down, all the other ones are as well because of that?
Well, keep in mind that they are all, in a monopolistic competition, they are all basically the same damn thing. I mean, they literally use the same code, many of them. I can take the Bitcoin's code and I can copy it and I can rename it Sean Coin, and I can have a coin up and running immediately. And so most of these, and this is something that Jared Rice could attest to because he's taken 700 of these coins and put them into his own system.
Yeah,
Almost all. How could you spend the time to get 700 coins into your system if they're not all the same? I mean,
right.
They all use very similar variations, and some of it is exactly the same. And so why would you ever want an expensive one if you could just use a cheap one? Well, it's because you think you're going to make money. It's all about marketing. I'm sorry, it's all about investing. And once you've lost your ass, then you're not an investor anymore. And the only people that are left over are the people that actually want to use it for commerce, the people that want to buy $1 million worth of oil out of Venezuela and get around the government, people that want to buy stuff out of China, the people that want to actually use it for what it's made for. They're going to be left over, but you're not going to go with an expensive Bitcoin if you can get the same thing done with, bitshares.
Well, I tell you what, I have been working hard and earning my Steam and Steam-backed dollars with Steemit, and so I was hoping to pay off a couple of credit cards, and then it just went boom, and I went, no! I mean, 2 days ago, I could have done it. Now I'm looking at it going, oh, no. So do you feel it's going to stay down, or do you feel it's going to go back up?
It's going to go down. It might pause for a little second, but then it's going to go down, and it's going to go below what it's actually worth. And so this crash is going to cause it to perhaps even go below the cost of running the infrastructure, because these Bitcoin miners, they have to use a lot of electricity to do their job, and they need at least about $3,000 per Bitcoin to make it work. If it goes below $3,000, you might see everybody just shut off their servers, and that's the end of Bitcoin.
So that's where BitShares wins again, because it doesn't have the miners.
If you don't have that
things
cost,
going on. Right.
That's right. If you don't have to depend on some price like that, then you're going to be able to stay in business. Otherwise, you're done for.
And that's where CloudCoin as well will move forward too.
That's right. CloudCoin is exceptionally efficient. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we're the most efficient currency that is out there, and we can take some major blows. We might have to get rid of a few of our programmers or something like that, but we are really lean and mean and efficient, and so there's nothing that's going to knock us down.
Fighting machine.
Yes.
If you're just joining us, hi everybody, this is Connie Willis, CryptoConnie with Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe if you haven't. Check the links below if you're still with us and you're wondering about how you can get a hold of Sean or how you can get a hold of a CloudCoin. The links below, they're all down there so you can find everything that you need. I appreciate that you use those links. Some of them are referral links from me, but it doesn't cost you any more. Just helping me out by doing my job, getting it out there for you guys, and then you guys can do the same as well. We're talking to Sean Worthington, who is the founder of CloudCoin and also of RAIDA. And what we're talking about is, beyond Bitcoin and beyond the blockchain. That's who we have tonight. We're taking your questions. I'm going to look over here again to see what we got. By the way, those of you writing things, I see your messages are retracted. I think if what I'm seeing here at least, if you put a link in, I think YouTube just takes it off. So any links that's so you don't spam. Forgive me for my voice. I'm still sick, but I'm feeling better. This may not sound good, and I hope that you'll join us tomorrow night. We're going to be talking with Stan Larimer of the godfather of bitshares. We're going to be talking to him tomorrow night and also taking questions. I know that you, Sean, wanted to talk to him at one point. Y'all kind of learn from each other a little bit, or at least get to know each other. Steve Picky here. Taxes are a hot button item in crypto. How would the CloudCoin be tracked and taxed?
So the simple answer is it would not. And the reason is because generally people that use digital currencies do not want to pay taxes. And if I can store cloud coins in my mind, and if I can transfer them via Whisper, which means I just call you up and give you some passwords, nobody's going to know that that transaction ever occurred, including the government. And so the government would have to try to find some other kind of evidence to prove that a transaction took place. For example, I've heard that the government has busted laundromat, or you might have some other kind of facts that you can use to show that business actually occurred. For example, if you ordered a bunch of boxes and those boxes are not in your house anymore, we can kind of assume that you put some products in and shipped them, and the government could tax you. But a 100% private currency like CloudCoin would have a very disruptive impact on the ability of governments to tax. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that that is a possible future, and the cat's out of the bag. And so we're going to see that. That's going to be the new future. That's the new reality.
Well, if I buy them from you, that's going to be recorded somewhere, isn't it? When I buy some CloudCoin.
So it depends on how you buy it. And of course, buying and exchanging is pretty much the same thing. But that is definitely the weak spot of it. And so if I give you some money, Western Union, does the government really know that that was your income? Or was, but the government can track that. And if I gave you some money via check, I wrote a check to you, does the government know that that was income? If I gave you cash, then certainly they would not know that. If I purchase something through PayPal, they may or may not know. If I bought it all with my credit card, does the credit card companies report everything that somebody buys to the government? It might, I don't know. I mean, that certainly would be a way that it could be tracked. But there's a whole number of different options available that are going to make it a lot more complicated and difficult for the government to track that. Now, there's Coinbase, and the IRS came in and kicked down the door and said, give us all the names of everybody that's making money. I hope they didn't ask for the crypto keys as well. But that's going, we don't want that to happen. We want to have peer-to-peer exchanges, so that's impossible. And so I'm sure there's going to be some issues, but
right now, no, and there's nothing. It's not illegal what you're doing at all, right?
No. Yeah.
It's just
so
wow.
We do everything we can to follow the law.
It's right. But it's just so different in our world, isn't it? It's so different. I mean,
It's the thing about it that I believe that CloudCoin is so superior that nobody's going to want to use dollars. And we've actually tested this in Venezuela. And in Venezuela, they have the bar. And when we do the right things, the people down there do not want to use Bolivar. They'll just stick with cloud coins. It's much better.
Okay. Taxes are a hot button item in crypto. How would the cloud? Oh, that's the one we just asked, wasn't it? Okay. Let's see. Come on. Let's see here. I want to thank everybody that's joined us. Those of you that have messages retracted, you probably put a link in there. That's the only thing I can think, is because you guys are all nice folks. Sean's Twitter account, I think I actually have that in the description below, I think.
That is CloudCoin Global.
If you can, go ahead and tell everybody where they can get a hold of you while I refer your question.
Okay, so sure. I've got my LinkedIn account, Sean H. Worthington. I usually put stuff there. Our Twitter is at CloudCoin Global, and we'll make announcements every day about different developments. We also have a Facebook account. I think there's a number of different Facebook accounts that we have. I've got one, and I think there's some Russians that have them. We've got, I think, our major page, which is cloudcoin.global. We have that translated into about 7 different languages, including 2 different types of Chinese.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
I didn't know there were. I guess there are. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
well, I tell you what, I want to wish you the best. It really still blows my mind. It seems just so easy, you know. The blockchain stuff to me is still hard, but I've been learning it and working it, and it's scary to see everything going down right now. But very nice to talk with you and learn what you're doing and how you're doing it. Tell us about the educational kits as well, which is in the link below.
Yeah, so you can click on that link and you can buy my book, a digital copy of that. You get some software, you get to watch some videos that teach you about things, and you also get a sampling of the cloud coins. And it only costs $11. You can add more cloud coins if you want to, but it's a very easy way, low-cost way to try out the currency and see if you like it. And you can want to hold on to those cloud coins. They might be really valuable in a couple of years. CloudCoin is definitely, if you're an investor, you should not expect to make money for at least a year, because it's going to take time for the currency. We're in no rush. We want to do it right and make everybody happy. And so I think, CloudCoin is really not going to take off for at least a year, probably more likely 2.
I remember reading something at one point, excuse me, it was about, you had said this is a spending coin, so don't really sit on it. And you said something about if you do sit on it, which you just said, if you want to invest, just give it some time. But if you do sit on it, you said something about in 2 years you need to do something. What was that about?
So the blockchain, it pays for its infrastructure by creating new Bitcoins. And we pay for our infrastructure and make it free for everybody, so there's no fees, by recovering lost cloud coins. And so we have the equivalent of miners, and they go into the database and they look for any cloud coins that have not been re-authenticated for the past 2 years. And so long as you re-authenticate your coins every 2 years, you will not have a problem. Now we're just, one of our customers said, why don't you make the software do that automatically?
Yeah, do it auto-renew maybe there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We actually did that. And so now, in our next implementation, when you open up our software, it's going to go check and see if there's any old money that's a year old, and it will automatically go ahead and re-authenticate that for you, so that you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean,
it only takes 2 seconds to do, and what it makes, like right now, there's been over 4 million Bitcoins that have been lost permanently, and that's a bad thing. If you like that guy that threw his hard drive in the garbage dump,
yes,
that wouldn't happen with CloudCoin. And so CloudCoin cannot be permanently lost. All he would have to do is go look at his email that he received his CloudCoins, look at the serial numbers, file a lost CloudCoin report, and then in 2 years, as long as there's no conflict, he would get those back. Now, if there was two people that claimed the same coins, we'd have to have a trial and figure out which one is more likely to own the coins. But besides that, they give them back.
Wow, interesting stuff that you have to think about when you get into the currency world. What about double spending?
So it's pretty much impossible to double. I mean, it's impossible to double spend, and the reason is because of the way that it works. So we've got a database, or we have 25 clouds, and they all have their own databases, and these are no share databases, so they don't share any data, they don't talk to each other or anything. But the CloudCoin tells the server what its password is, and it tells it what its new password should be. And so the password is always changing. And so so long as you take ownership of it and you change all the passwords, nobody could double spend that. Now, I could print out one, and I could print out like 5 of them and give them to different people, but as soon as one person takes ownership of them, the other ones are counterfeit now.
Oh, okay.
And so it's the system. There's no transition between. So it's just impossible to double spend.
Got a lot of pluses here for sure. What was the other question here? Is it possible for the government, Jeremy, is it possible for the government to take control of the RAIDA?
So the answer is no. What we do to protect against that is we put it in 25 different jurisdictions. And these jurisdictions aren't necessarily friendly with each other. And also,
good move.
Yeah.
Tactic, strategy.
We've got a number of them in Russia. We've got a number of them in America. We've got them in Singapore and Japan. We've got them in Australia. We've got them in Germany. We've got them in Serbia, Macedonia. We have them in Colombia. We had some in Venezuela, but the internet just didn't work, so we had to move it out of there. And so Canada, we've got them all over the place. So it would take quite a coordinated effort. And so it'd be probably possible for one government to seize one of them. In order to seize them, they would have to find the IP address. And the IP addresses are hidden behind what are called reverse proxy servers. You can think of that like a Tor network, but it's just a server that stands there and says, if you want to talk to my friend, I'll send that friend a message. But it helps us to hide those servers. And if one was compromised, we can set up another server and have everything, working instantly. Basically, they would have to take over like 18 of the servers in order to shut down the system.
How did you come up with this? I mean, this is all your mind, right? This is your mind thinking. Is this
right.
correct? This is totally yours. Right. This is your baby.
Uh-huh. Well,
so that's how your mind thinks. Were you watching James Bond all the time? Where did this come from?
Well, it comes from teaching college, because I teach about systems that have a long history of human civilization that have made great changes. So one of those is the TCP/IP protocol that runs the internet. And so the internet has never gone down worldwide. We might lose it at our house, but they don't lose it all over the world. So how's that possible? Every hacker in government would love to take down, every troll would love to take down the internet and deny everybody access, but it's impossible because the TCP/IP protocol is fault tolerant to the degree where it is nuclear proof. You can blow up things, and I think I might have said that I'm a veteran of the Desert Shield. We tried to take down Saddam Hussein's network. We just couldn't do it. It's just too fault tolerant. And then there's something called the DNS system. And so the RAIDA is really based on the DNS system. We use the DNS system every day, probably millions of times, each of us. So this thing is used billions of times all around the world every day. And it's never gone down since it was created in 1985. And again, hackers would love to take it down. There might be some DNS names that have been confiscated and they've had certain problems. But as far as the entire network, and so all of our RAID administrators have their own DNS names, and it makes it so that even if we were to have any DNS problems, But basically, we've got the same kind of system. The DNS server's got 13 servers around the world, root servers, and we've got 25.
Well, Jared Rice had said it, and Jeremy Spivey's saying it, and I say it, and I know a lot of other people say it. It's just brilliant. Your little mind it's brilliant.
Well, thank you.
You've really got some neat things. It's you know, I look forward to talking to Stan about that more because, you know, I really trust in his thoughts and everything and what he's doing and what his son's doing, Dan. And it just seems like to me you've blown it all away. So I want to learn more about it, of course, along the way, and we will, of course. So you're welcome to be back on Blue Rock Talk whenever you'd like, whenever you want to make an announcement. Maybe in between now and the next time we'll talk and fix the sound together because you're a pro at this kind of stuff. I appreciate that. So tell everybody where they can find you once again.
So if you want to get the free book and 5 free cloud coins, you can go to digitalfrontiernews.com. You can go to go to Twitter, go to CloudCoin Global, or you can go to our website, cloudcoin.global.
Okay, and I guess all the descriptions are down below, everybody, so you can find them there, all the information that you just talked about. If not, I'll make sure I add that, so Sean will take a look at that and make sure we've got it all in there. You've been on here before, so we do have a past interview on here. And where are you going to be next? Do you have any clue? What do you got tomorrow? Like 3, 4, 5 interviews as well? Oh, I think I cut Sean off. I might have cut Sean off. He's gone. I think I did cut off Sean. So anyway, Blue Rockers, thank you for joining me. And what he's got a nice little X over, or a question mark over here, doesn't he? Let's see, where is it? This way. Question mark. How is Cloud going to do tomorrow? Well, thank you, Blue Rockers, for being here. I really appreciate it. I thank you very much for your patience as well. Subscribe, like, comment, and thank you for being here. We got more tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, Stan Larimer with cryptoconnie here and the godfather of bitshares. And we'll find out what he thinks, why the crash is happening, if it is a crash. And we'll also see what he thinks about the future of, well, maybe we'll even ask him about cloud to see what he thinks about that. So join me tomorrow, Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. I look forward to talking to you then. Thanks, everybody.